Hello, my name is Melissa Lovejoy, and I am presenting information that I gained in my meeting with three student affairs professionals at Georgia Southern University. I had a great conversation with these professionals, and we all had a great meeting of the minds. I am structuring my professional development plan to ensure that I'm placing myself in the right opportunities to gain the most experience. And I'm also preparing myself and expanding my knowledge in higher education administration. So I met with four people who hold possible positions leading up to my ultimate position, which is Vice President of Student Affairs. I wanted to hear about their journey throughout their career and their professional development plan. So let's talk about my conversation with Colton Goodman. Colton was a culinary arts student in his undergrad. After moving back home to Central Florida, he realized he wasn't motivated by that career. After speaking with his parents, he started working with elementary school students, second graders to be exact. Colton enjoyed and found a love for students and watching them grow and to develop. And having that love, he did that for maybe 2 years and realized that wasn't the job for him, which led him back to Miami, where he had previous relationships that led him to student affairs, where he became a resident assistant. While being a resident assistant and obtaining his master's, he was a senator of housing, he was the SGA president, and he realized that he still had that love for watching students grow and develop, but it was a different student population. Colton currently holds the position of resident director for Centennial Halls 1 and 2 at Georgia Southern University on the Statesboro campus. I met with THERESA DUGGAR, who was very informative and very informational as it relates to her journey. She started her career as an undergrad for marketing. So after she graduated, she did an internship for a marketing firm outside of Atlanta, where she developed a lot of her customer service skills. She did that for a while and realized that wasn't the job for her. So after speaking with her mother, decided to come back to the Statesboro, where she did a 2-year internship at student in the student activities office. And she gained most of her experience there. She's also worked in different aspects of student affairs, including academic advising. All that experience led her to her current position as Assistant Director of Career Development. Next, I met with Memory Littles. Memory was pursuing a career in marketing and broadcasting. There was a conflict of their alignment with ethics and morals. And I say that because the broadcasting side, ethics and morals, didn't align with hers. So she realized that that wasn't the job for her and decided to use those resources and relationships she built when she was an undergrad and came into student affairs. She stated that she didn't understand or know what student affairs was. She just thought it was just mentors. So being there and seeing the different side of it, um, she gained a more appreciative for it, which allowed her to move throughout student affairs and administrative positions. She held positions into student activities, where now she holds a position of the director of student activities in Georgia Southern University. The best thing about talking to Memory was the fact that she said her next career is to pursue a position in vice president of student affairs, which was which is my ultimate career path. So it was only natural that I interviewed Dr. Shay Little, who is the VP of Student Affairs at Georgia Southern University. She holds the position in student affairs that I hope to hold one day. Therefore, I wanted to learn more about her journey. Dr. Little started in housing as a grad assistant, where she obtained exposure to budgeting, supervising, advising, and program planning. Next, she became a director of operations, where she learned the business side of higher education. Then, after that, she got the conduct piece by being the dean of students, which led her in her experiences to her current job, which is Vice President of Student Affairs. One thing that she stated that kind of resonated with me, that kind of sent me on my next search for jobs, is that she says she refers back to her housing experience more than anyone would know, um, is how she manages her division, which I thought was very interesting. I'm not sure if my pathway will follow Colton, Theresa, Memory, or Dr. Little's, but they provide excellent advice that I plan to use in my professional development plan. One is the next step is the doctorate degree that I'll be pursuing a year from now. I need the finance piece, so I want to make sure that I am volunteering and finding events that I can participate that gives me the best exposure. And I think one of the next positions I'll be looking for would be probably in housing, because I want to gain all of that information. As far as the conduct piece that's attached to it, the finance piece, I'm going to continue to network with volunteers that was suggested to establish those relationships that Memory and Theresa used and Colton used when it was time to get back or find a job after they graduated and realized what they went to school for wasn't what they wanted to do. So that's going to be important that I keep that. So I'm looking for future positions for the next step, which will probably be housing. Colton gave me the best advice when I spoke to him as it relates to interviewing for jobs. He stated, don't be afraid to ask questions. You are interviewing them as much as they are interviewing you. I never thought about that as it relates to an interview. I always thought that I just answer their questions and maybe I have a few follow up questions, but never had the mindset to go into an interview where I'm making sure that this institution is the right fit for me. So that was great advice that I'll be taking to my next interview. These professionals, they all took different paths into student affairs and while they were in student affairs. Colton and Dr. Little received the most valuable knowledge that they have in housing. Theresa and Memory, as I stated, had strong relationships that they developed that allowed them to come back and be a part of student affairs. After meeting with them, I realized that they all hold similar characteristics that I know will be needed and demonstrated in my current and future positions, my experiences, my interaction with students, staff, faculty, and administrators. They all show the love for students and their growth and development. They all believe that you have to move within the division to gain the experiences. They all had great leadership. When they got to talk about what they do and what they like most about their job and what was most impactful, it all led to the same, and that was having good integrity, as you can see on this picture here, and also keeping the students at the forefront of all decisions. They all come from very strong ethical and moral backgrounds, and I think all of those characteristics is what's needed in order to be a very effective and efficient member of higher education administrations. I will be looking for housing positions, student life positions, and student services positions. I do not know where I end up, but I am super excited for my future. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Make it a great day.